Hi, this is Ed Esselman of Esselman Counseling Services. Wanted to talk with you today about a situation I've seen increasingly in my office. Actually, I just spoke with a mother about this type of situation. She came in to tell me that her daughter had posted a picture of herself naked. Actually, it was sent as at the request of a guy friend, and it was sent as a Snapchat, and the boy was able to, I guess, take a permanent picture of it and then passed it around, sent it to his other friends. Um, Needless to say, the mother was distraught about the whole situation. She described that the daughter was also distraught in telling her this had happened about 3 months prior to her telling her mother that it had happened. The mother, after she stopped crying and we started talking about it, her basic question was, I don't know what I should have said. What do you say in such a situation? Um, so we talked through it. Um, Here's a few thoughts. Don't lecture. Um, the mother indicated that the girl actually seemed to feel a sense of relief after she told her mother about the video. Um, and in my sense is that if you're in this type of situation, seeing the child feel a sense of relief after disclosing this is a very good sign. It says that the girl knows that what she did was not a good thing, and she feels bad about it. Um, that's an example of good guilt or good shame. It keeps us from doing inappropriate or bad things. So that's a good sign. Um, the mother did figure out as she thought about the daughter's behavior when she probably had done this because she was aware about 3 months ago of a behavior change in her daughter. A good, again, good observations on the part of the mother. Most parents want to lecture at that and get angry and express such anger. I encourage parents not to do that. What I think is more effective is to disclose sadness about it. And my sense is that the more sadness you see in your daughter, or the more sadness she expresses, I think that's again a good sign. Because it is a situation of, in most cases, an impulse decision that's going to have negative consequences. And what we typically feel in such situations is sadness. Be aware that you're finding out about this after the fact. There's very little you can do. And you will feel that helplessness, which also fuels that want to lecture. Again, don't lecture. You live with life, or you have lived with life much longer than she has. And so, in addition to sadness, you and she may also feel despair, but the despair that you and she might feel are going to be of two different types. Because again, you have lived with life and you know what life can do and you know how your actions can follow you. You know what this child might experience in the future as a result of this action. So your despair comes from knowing life. Her despair comes from a much more, I'm going to say, naive position. She just knows that she's done this and it's being passed around and guys are looking at it and using it in various different ways. She doesn't know that her actions will haunt her and how those actions will come up at unexpected moments, etc. So while your despair may fade over time, she might renew, have renewed despair as that action raises itself or comes into her awareness again and again and again and again. The more you can be supportive at this point, the more likely she is to come back to you later when this occasion comes back up, and she can reach out for support from you. I'm just thinking about the situation as the mother talked about it. I think one thing to do is to spend time with the daughter and cry with her or express the sadness that comes. This will help her, I think, continue to be honest and open with you and cry, emote as she needs to. This is I think, an important piece of trying to get through this time. A lot of parents will say, "Why did you do that? What were you thinking?" Okay, a couple thoughts about that. Uh, Here's a way of approaching that. When you got dressed this morning, did you look in the mirror and did you check to see that you looked nice? Okay, this is the same basic concept. Okay, girls will do this because of the attention they get for it. It's not the best kind of attention, but she's young. She doesn't have a lot of experience with attention. She certainly doesn't have as much experience with getting attention as you have. And you have learned about what are good ways to get attention and bad ways to get attention. So she does it for attention. That's not pathological. Um, I think pathology, if this girl, for example, gets attention this way, and despite these consequences, she continues to get attention this way. You have learned how to get attention as you've lived with your actions. She too will know the next time not to do this. It's quite possible, given the fact that younger and younger girls are doing this, that they don't understand why guys want such pictures, aside from the attention. I think another intervention is to talk frankly with her about what guys will do with such pictures, namely to masturbate to them, namely to share with their friends and talk objectively about that girl, your daughter. Um, Again, the trick that I think a lot of parents, or the challenge that a lot of parents face, is being able to talk about this with their daughter and not blame them, and not be accusatory, but yet try to help the daughter to understand, this. After the situation, I encourage parents to, after talking and crying with your daughter, I also encourage parents to go to their own bedrooms and cry on the shoulder of your spouse, because this is a sad situation. Um, it's a way of you trying to cope or get through it yourself. Um, Another question that comes up is, do I give the child consequences for this? Take their phone. That's often a response. I tell parents to think about that. Automatically taking a phone, I think at times can result in the child feeling as though they are being treated as a child as opposed to perhaps the adolescent that they are. And I think that the natural and logical consequences of having that out there now is consequence enough. On the other hand, you have to judge each situation on its own merits. So if the child seems to have great remorse, genuine remorse, my belief would be, no, that's consequence enough. If, on the other hand, you don't feel like the child understands this, or your young daughter doesn't understand this, maybe you do need to take the phone from her. Okay, that's all for today. I'll talk with you next time. Bye bye.